Welcome to Open Mic 2. This is the second open mic that we're having, and I came up with this idea because I wanted to offer an avenue of expression in a safe environment for people to express themselves. And part of my whole mission here, I'm what they call a Dean's Distinguished Fellow at FIU, which is a very fancy sounding title, but basically it's we're given free rein to do things, and part of my interest and passion with working in education is to empower people. A lot of times in life we kind of grow based on what happened to us when we were kids. And when I was a kid, I had a stepfather who every time I tried to do anything creative, he called me stupid and an ass, and just, it took a long time to get over it, but actually in a sort of a weird way, it kind of helped me. But that's what I wanted to do basically with open mic, just to offer a venue for people to express themselves. So welcome and thank you all for coming. Do we have a lineup yet here?
No, it's up to you. Whoever wants to go can go forward.
Okay.
I can definitely call names.
Okay, the last time we did it by sort of alphabetical first name, so I don't know.
I have Adam.
Okay. Well, yes. First of all, I just want to say also, and we'll get to Adam. It's amazing that he's here. But this is the idea of open. We tried to register everyone so we knew who's going to come. But also, open mic means it's really open. So anyone here who hasn't signed up, who just wants to come up and say something at the mic, it can be anything. It can be we have some poetry. Spoken word, song, comedy, even telling a story. So I'm going to just get the ball rolling just to give you an example of what can be done here. And I'm going to tell a story about, I think some of you know that I used to work in the movie business. I was a photographer, and I worked on a lot of big Hollywood movies doing the publicity and promotional stills. So back in 2002, I was working on the movie Terminator 3 with Arnold. And it was, so we were out in L.A., sitting on the set one day, and Arnold is in his chair in between setups, with a cigar, and he looked over at me, and I'm going to do a really bad Arnold imitation now, but he goes, Robert, do you have your cell phone? I said, yeah, sure, Arnold. He goes, I want to talk to your mother. So my mom is down here in Miami, so I call her on my cell phone. I say, hey, Mom, someone wants to talk to you. I give the phone to Arnold, and they start talking, and it's, they have actually rather lengthy conversation, maybe for 5 minutes. And in the end, I hear Arnold say to my mom, he goes, your son is the best photographer I've ever worked with. And then he goes, but he doesn't get the credit. You do, because you produced him. And I really have told that story many times, because it really shined a light on the fact that parents really deserve credit for what happens with their children. So I've told that story many times to many parents. So anyway, we're going to start with our lineup here, and we have Adam Schieber, who I met at the Betsy Hotel, and this is a perfect example. He was working as a concierge, and that was kind of his. I consider that your undercover job, because the real job is what you do, which is comedy and making people laugh. And so anyway, it's a great pleasure to introduce Adam Schieber here.
All right. Y'all can hear me? You hear me? All right, we're good? All right, cool. Right before I get started, I'm able just to talk about anything here. Just it's open. Some of my subjects can be a little reckless sometimes. I just want to clear the air, here before I get going. All right, so, man, so lovely to be here. Well, first of all, it's an honor, Robert, to be here in the building, man. It really is. And when I saw the post and I got to call you and you said, hey, come on down, it was just a great privilege for me to be here. So, yeah, let me get into it, man. Been watching the news lately. I don't know if you watch the news. It's crazy. I watch the news sometimes and I'm like, man, my life ain't that bad. It's really not. And I was watching the news the other day and I saw on the news that there was a lifeguard that had drowned. And I gotta be honest, man, I really didn't feel bad about it, because your sole responsibility as a lifeguard was not to drown. That was it. That in the sign-ups, it was you can't drown. During the application process, you had to check out the box that said I can swim. You did that. Boom. You know how embarrassing that is? And first of all, I felt bad because I was like, man, imagine how miserable he must have been to go to work every single day with his binoculars just staring at the water like, man, that looks deep. I feel bad. It's embarrassing, too, because his boys must have been at the funeral just staring at the casket just like, hey, this dude can't even swim, dog. It's crazy, man. But the true definition of irony is that they ended up cremating the body and dumped the ashes into the ocean. So he's just eternally drowning for life. He just didn't work out for him in this life or the next. It didn't go well for him. I tell you, man, the news is crazy. I was watching the news, and they had this baby on the news, and the baby was 2 years old. Baby kept having seizures, and so President Obama, he signed off on to give the baby medical marijuana, and I was like, oh, you know what, that's really not cool, you gonna get this little 2-year-old baby high as hell, you know what I mean? And I thought to myself, I was like, what if the baby, starts getting paranoid, you know what I mean? You put the baby in his crib. He thinks he's locked up doing 2 to 10 years, just grabbing on the crib, just like, get me out. Like, that's not cool. Do something like that to a child. You know what I mean? I was like, well, the baby's going to get paranoid. He's going to start wilding out. You're going to have to discipline him. You're going to have to put him in timeout. You know what I mean? Then he thinks he's on death row. He just starts making demands for his last meal. Just let me get some breast milk for my last meal. Man, that's not cool. I'll be honest with you, man. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I quit smoking marijuana. I quit. Been clean for like 20 minutes. That's how it's working out for me right now. 420 building. Just my senses brought me here. And but I got to be honest with you, man. I did slow it down because the problem with marijuana smoke is that you do incredibly dumb things when you smoke. I'll give you a perfect example. The other day, I was at my boy's house one time, right? He got me high. I was like, hey, thank you so much, man. Get me high. Appreciate that. Went back to my house, man. I just started texting him on my phone. I was like, hey, dog, I think I left my phone at your crib, dog. I don't know. Just check on the table for it or something. I don't know. That's what happens, man. It's a terrible thing. My ex-girl didn't like I smoke, and I gotta say, women, because I'm in the dating game right now. Whether you're single or you're in a relationship, women, you three, I got 4, 5, I lost count. I gotta say, why is it when you out and you having dinner with your man or either with somebody you dating, why is it that you always want a bite of my food? I never understood, like, you got your own plate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that you have to have a bite of what I'm having? You know what I mean? Like, I never forget, I was on a date and she act like she never saw my food before. Like, she act like she's never seen it. But what is it? What is it? What do they call that? What they call that chicken? Is that chicken? Oh, it's chicken. What is that? Was that Alfredo? And then she started talking in another language you've never heard before. She's like, what is this Alfredo of the sauce that you speak of? I was like, when do you talk like that? Since when do you talk like that? It's crazy, man. Me and my girl had just problems because I wasn't good at sharing. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't good at sharing because I felt like if I offer something to you and you don't take it, it's not my responsibility to back you up. I'll give you an example. We just ate some food, right? We just ate some food. Driving home, I was like, all right, cool. We're driving home, and we were passing the McDonald's sign, and I was like, oh, you know what, baby, I could really go to some McDonald's right now. And she was like, oh, it sounds good, babe, but I'm full. I was like, all right, babe, well, I'll go for an Oreo McFlurry. You know what I mean? Go for some dessert right now. Do you want one? And she said, no, baby, I'm full. I said, all right, cool. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you want an Oreo McFlurry? She said, nah, baby, I thank you for offering, but I'm good. I said, baby, I'm going to ask you one more time if you want an Oreo McFlurry. I'll buy you your own Oreo McFlurry if you want one. And she said no. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to get my own. So we go through the drive-thru, right? Go through the drive-thru. I get the ice cream, right? Before I could even put the spoon into my Oreo McFlurry, you know what she said to me? You know what she said? She said, that looks good. I said, no, it don't. I said, no, it don't look good. It looks like you're full. That's what it looks like. It looks like you're full right now. She said, no, you make it look so good. I said, make it look good. I didn't make it. I could have bought you. You could have had 800 bites of your own McFlurry. That boggles my mind. I never understood that. Or if you have a woman, I was in a relationship one time. She said, we were arguing. She said, you made me this way. I said, no, nobody made you crazy. Like, you can't put that on me. Like, just, I put the crazy on you. You know what I mean? Like, that don't make sense to me. Hey, man, we got time for one more, Robert? Or just, okay. Before I get out of here, I tell you, man, I was watching Shark Week the other day. Change the subject on you. I was watching Shark Week the other day, right? You watch Shark Week? Okay, and then you're like, man, when it comes on, I mess with it. It's probably my favorite show. I love it. I was watching Shark Week the other day, and I just find it so fascinating. It's intriguing to me, really. And I'm watching it, and I'm all in it, and it said if you were to ever encounter a shark, that you're just supposed to punch him on the nose. Pah! I was like, for real? That's the best you came up with? It's just, you're just supposed to punch him in the nose? And I thought to myself, I was like, okay, well, what if I do encounter a shark and I try to punch him and I miss and he just bites my arm off? You know what I'm saying? Like, the direction of that just went. I was like, I don't understand it. So then I was thinking, all right, say I do punch him in the nose. Say I punch the shark dead in the nose, and I was just like, bah, is he just supposed to be like, all right, dog, you got me. You know what? I shouldn't even be swimming over here anyway, man. This water's way too shallow for me, dog. You got me. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm Adam Shiva. I appreciate it.
Hotel, but it's really an amazing, unique hotel that's in South Beach, and is that good? You got me? Okay. That really supports the arts and culture. And I read an article back in 2010. There was an article in the Miami Herald about the Betsy, and so this place said they support the arts and culture, philanthropy. They're involved with an AIDS orphanage in where is it, Zimbabwe or something like that. And just an amazing place. So I called the front desk, and I started just like bugging them until finally I got put in touch with Deborah Briggs, who runs kind of the arts and the whole program there, and then we connected. So I began going like in late 2010 to the Betsy Hotel in 2011, and then one day I was talking and I was there and I met Johnson, who at the time I think you were working as a bellman. And somehow in our conversation it came to light that he was a poet. And so we were standing there in the lobby, and I said, well, just give me something. We're standing right in the lobby. And so I stood there, and he said this poem. He spoke this poem about his son and about being a father to his son. And I was literally like, there were tears running down my face. So that was my introduction to Johnson. And it's just that, and the same thing with Adam. It's like, you never know what are behind people. So that's my introduction to Johnson. And now I turn it over to you.
Thank you, Robert, for that warm introduction. How y'all doing? Usually when I do a poem, no matter how long it is, I usually memorize everything. Everything. But I had so much changes to do on this poem I was doing today, so I hope you don't mind if I read. Is that okay with everyone? All right. All right, here we go. I just want to talk to my father and tell him that I became a man without you. The love I never received from you, I gave it to your grandson. See, I just want to talk to my father and tell him that this poem is long overdue. The tears I've shed, the black on this ink is nothing new. See, I just want to talk to my father and tell him that my mother taught me how to ride a bike today. A lioness, a queen in my heart, she will forever stay. Maybe that's the reason why I have her last name today. As a child, I would listen by my bedside as God showers my mother's pain. Where thou, Father, mother pillows your name. I will glare at my reflection as sorrow remains by my bedside. I will tame my pupils as I listen to heaven's music. Despite my past and the failure of my father, God has taken me to that journey that was missing. A hope rose within me that one day my father will return to love me. Guide me, teach me the principles of a man. Work hard, stand firm, never limit your progressions. Dear God, I've been given this moment to speak on my agony. My father was created by your image, so why doesn't he love me? All I ever wanted to do was call my father daddy. But that love was taken away from me. As a juvenile, I was angry. Violence and drugs never left. Sex was my pleasure. Mary Jane told me she loves me. She reaches her climax every time I pucker a kiss. Inhale her love on my heart, she sits. Now that I'm a father, I promise to guide my son, love him like my first father. Give him the tools that he needs to use in school, like the number 2 pencil. Build character, respect women, the strength of your mother. And I will tell him that I love him every day. You should see the smile on his face. I taught him how to ride a bike today. Thank you. If I could tell my son anything, it's to be a man in a land of hate. Never degrade woman because you came out of one. Stand tall, be proud of your complexion as a black man. As a minority in this country, I believe that everything's worth fighting for because nobody will ever give you freedom. Nobody gives you equality or justice or anything. As a man, you take it. But it all starts with education. Be responsible, be humble, studious with class. Respect your elders. Pull your pants up because these old people march for your dumb ass. Never follow your friends. Choose your own path. Sit in front, not behind the class. And I will tell him that I love him every day. Be present each and every of his birthday. I will let the whole world know he's mine. Show him that it doesn't take money to be a father. It takes time. Teach him how to be a gentleman. Open and close the door for his women. Tell him it takes more than your manhood to be a man in this nation. Carrying a gun doesn't make you a man in any situation. Real men sit down, talk, work out their problems, and I would show him that a man is quick to listen and slow to speak. And we will have a father and a Sunday. Morning service on Sunday. I will be there till my days are done. I will be a father to my son. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. So my name is Juan, and I am a singer. I'm a firm believer that the arts lets you express what you can't express in your everyday life. So this song I wrote is called Heated Conversation, and it's a song I wrote about, I think all of us, or some of us, have that one relationship in our life where we made it almost like our religion, and that's what this song is about. It's a very experimental song, by the way. The background track, it sounds on a loop. Just letting you know, it's very experimental. Selfish, selfish, all I can pray. Selfish, selfish, up in my brain. Selfish, selfish, you're my third eye. Selfish, selfish, give me the pain. Your body intertwined with mine. Jesus, Jesus, give me a sign. Doubting my head, thinking over again. Stuck in your heart, may the chaos begin. Hanging on for dear life over the edge. Clutching at your skin tight, breath raging red. Going to the low point, reaching for the high point, feeling of each other till the feeling's dead. Half my heart's close to yours, arms apart and holding yours. Lips are speaking hymnal lines, eyes meet locking, for you I pine. Hanging on for dear life over the edge. Clutching at your skin tight, breath raging red. Going to the low point, reaching for the high point, feeling of each other till the feeling's dead. Thank you for the music, thank you for staccato. Love our composer, lusting our conductor. We have it every night, symphonies and operas. But is a feeling best to what a simple aria instrumental sounds wrong? Can you pause it? Sorry about that. That instrumental went totally wrong. But, wow, okay. I'll just sing the rest of the song. I'm hanging on, I'm clutching on, going to the low point, to the high point, hanging on for dear life, over the edge, clutching and your skin tight, breath raging red, going to the low point, reaching for the high point, feeling of each other till the feeling's dead, selfish, selfish, fresh and untamed, selfish, fearless. Do it again, selfish, express, hot on fire. Selfish, careless, full of desire. Thank you.
What's up, guys? My name is Patrick Duval, and this is called Love Me. Won't you hold my hand, make me your man, and tell me that you love me, pretty baby. It would make my life if you looked me in the eyes and told me that you love me. I always knew deep inside that I loved you. Is it a sin to fall in love with you, girl? Was it wrong for me to follow my heart? I never knew I could fall in love again. Ever since I saw you, I always knew that my heart would be a fool for you. I don't care if you use me, I don't care if you fool me, I just wanna be next to you. It would make my life if you look me in the eyes and told me that you love me. I always knew deep inside that I loved you. Is it a sin to fall in love with you, girl? Was it wrong for me to follow my heart? I never knew I could fall in love again. Thank you.
This guy, his name is Frank, and he was the owner of a little small computer repair shop in my neighborhood in L.A., like in one of those little corner mini malls. And this was, again, when was this? Los Angeles, September 2004. Frank. I'd wanted to upgrade my laptop's RAM from the 512, which is back then, that it came with, to 1 gigabyte. I saw this computer repair place in the mini mall and went in. Frank looked up my model number. No problem, my friend. We'll order another 512 and bring you up to 1 gig. In 2 days, he called to say the memory was in. I brought in my laptop. He took it in back and came out 5 minutes later. Here you go. He turned on my computer to show me, but instead of the 1 gig I expected, it said 768 megabytes. What happened? Well, your 512 was made up of two 256s, so this was the most it goes. I paid and left, but then felt, hey, wait a minute. I went back. What do you want me to do, he asked. If I take out the new RAM, there's a 20% restocking fee. But you looked at my computer beforehand. You should have told me first, I said. We went back and forth. It escalated. That's not how I do business, I said. Take me to court, he yelled. We stood there yelling at each other. I took my computer and left, feeling bad. That night I called a store and left a message. I don't like the way you dealt with me. You didn't take the high road, but I also don't like that I yelled at you. I'm sorry for that. I think you are a good man who is having a bad day. Please accept my apology. The next day I got a message from Frank, almost in tears. You should not apologize to me. I should be apologizing to you. You are right. I did not take the high road. From now on, when you come into my store, you will be more than a customer. You will be my friend, and you will get $50 off anything you do here. I went in yesterday to say hello. I saved your message, he said. I learned such a lesson from this. I wish I had learned this 20 years ago.
Round two. Okay. Wish I get started. I always think talking about relationships is fun, because I'm single and I've had like so many weird kind of like experiences happen to me. So I'll give you an example, okay? You look at me like, what is he about to say right now? I have no idea what's about to come out of his mouth. The thing is, I'm doing this dating game right now, you know what I mean? And the whole thing as a man, as a guy, if you're trying to get a woman, you probably didn't notice, but this is why he's sitting next to you, is that you got to talk to a woman a certain way so you don't throw him in the friend zone. You don't want to go there. You do not want to go in the friend zone. Once you get thrown into the friend zone, it's like you just got thrown in a giant maze. You just woke up in it like, how the hell did I get here? How did I get here? Like, GPS won't even help you out. You be like, GPS, where am I? You be like, dude, you lost. We don't know where you went, dog. You took a wrong turn. It's tough, you know? So you gotta talk to women just a certain way. You don't gotta be rude. You just gotta talk to them a certain way. Like, you're not playing. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? This is how you don't get thrown in the friend zone, because there's only a 2% chance you can make it out the friend zone. I did the research. I Googled it. There's only a 2% chance you can make it out the friend zone. But I mean, once you do, it's like hitting the game-winning home run in the World Series. You know what I'm saying? Getting out the friend zone, it's like hitting the game-winning shot in the NBA World Championship. You know what I mean? As soon as you're done having sex, you just need to stand up in the middle of your living room. Just like to thank God for the opportunity. Big shout out to Derek's Condoms, Hennessy. I don't know why I do that. It's crazy, man. I tell you, man, I wanted to be fresh. I want to smell good for women. I just want to do all these things, you know what I mean? And so I started watching TV, you know what I mean? Started watching the Axe body spray commercials. You ever seen them? Yo, they sold me dreams, man. You ever seen the Axe body spray commercial? They sell dreams out there. You see the Axe body spray commercial. It's like, this dude sprays the cologne, and then all of a sudden, these women just pop out of nowhere. 18 women just tackle them. Buildings are exploding. I was like, yo, I need to get that. Whatever you got, I need to get that. So I did it. I tried it, put it on, put the Axe body spray on. You know what happened to me? 18 mosquito bites. No women, just a lot of Benadryl everywhere. Just didn't work out for me. I tell you, man, living in Miami is crazy because, it's such like a Spanish culture. You know what I mean? Are you Spanish, man? You Spanish? Cool. I wasn't really gonna go anywhere with it. I was just gonna say I need to step my Rosetta Stone game up. You know what I mean? Come in here and just start. What are you? You Spanish? I would have thought somewhere from Idaho, but you know what I'm saying. But we'll work with it. What do you think I am? You know what I'm saying? You think? She's like, you from a different planet. We don't really know where you came from. I understand that. It's a weird thing going on. You know, I'm half black, half white. You know what I mean? So in Boston, I was considered black. You know what I mean? In Miami, I'm considered Spanish. You know, which is weird. And I think, you know, my dad was always mad because, you know, my dad's black and my mother's white. I think my dad was mad that I didn't come out like blacker. You know what I mean? I think he was just always salty that I just didn't come out darker, because he would always be like dropping me hints when I came to visit him in the house. You know, I'd be so excited to see him. I walk in, I'd be like, yo, what's up, Dad? He'd be like, why you look so pale today, boy? I was like, oh, I don't know, Dad. His mom's white and I just came out like this. I don't know. You know, I was talking to my little brother because I got step brothers and sisters, and I got a little brother. He's a little white kid, you know, different fathers and stuff like that. And he looks up to me and he always be like, you know, looking, but he don't understand why I'm black and he's white. You know, it just never clicked to him. But he wants to like understand the black culture and stuff like that. So he'd always like be putting my do-rags on, trying to go to school. I was like, nah, you can't wear that to school. You know what I'm saying? He was like, why? I was like, well, you know, you'll get arrested. That's you know, plain and simple. You can't do it, you know. And my little sisters are like the cutest thing in the world. I never realized how like children just like they just hear everything that you say and they just repeat everything. I just want can I swear real quick, Robert, for this one? Okay, I just want to drop this one down. So I was at my house, you know what I mean? And me and my boys growing up, we would say the N-word every once in a while to each other. Just, you know, black people, you know, well, you know, light-skinned people thing, you know what I mean? So, you know, I was babysitting my little sisters. They're twins, Crystal, Christina, twin little white girls and stuff like that, right? And I thought they were watching Dora the Explorer. And I was on my boy, like we were talking on the phone. And we had this thing where, like, when we picked up the phone, we just go, niggas, you know what I mean? We just do that, just real quick, niggas. And so my mom walks through the door, and like my little sisters like run up to the door and they're like, niggas. I was like, oh shit, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Because it's difficult trying to raise these little white kids everywhere. They don't understand what I'm going through. You know, I've been you know, any churchgoers? Any churchgoers? I swear, if we had Rosetta Stone, I'd be right there sitting next to you. I was saying, so I went to church the other day, right? My boss brought me to church, and I grew up Catholic. I don't know what I am right now. It's just I'm a little confused because it got crazy once you get older. You know what I mean? Oh, it's like, you know, he parted the Red Sea. I'm like, man, I got 6-foot boys can't swim. You know what I'm saying? It's bananas to me. So, but my boss brought me to a black church the other day, and I was just so infatuated by the whole thing. You know, Ed brought me to this church, and it was at the Antioch mega church, because I was going to perform there, and it was at the Antioch mega church in Miami Gardens. So this is which I ended up performing there, but it's a double-decker church, about 400 black people, and so I'm just sitting there and I'm just trying to like learn everything that's happening around me. You know what I mean? There's just I'm the lightest person in there, first of all, and I'm just excited to be there. So, you know, I just didn't realize how many things how active you had to be when you were there. You know what I'm saying? So like the preacher was going, Preacher Jackson, and he's like, your first time here, stand up and make some noise. I stood up. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm the only person who's never been here before. There was like 300 people there. I didn't understand that. So I sat down, and I just didn't realize how many assignments that you had to do in black church. It's crazy. You got so much stuff to do. Like, he was like, turn to your neighbor, tell him not to be discouraged. I turned to my neighbor. I was like, hey, man, you good, dog? You all right, man? We good? We cool? And my boss is looking at me like, hey, man, where's your notebook? Where's your pen? Write this down. I was like, man, is there an exam? Is there a pop quiz? I would have studied. I would have been more ready. You know what I mean? I would have prepared myself for church. You know what I mean? I just started cheating off my neighbor's Bible. I was like, hey, dog, you got the answer to Scripture 7, dog? I don't even got it, man. You got Scripture 7? God just looking at me like, you can't cheat in church. I'm just looking at him like, man, I just don't want to fail out the church. I just want to make sure I could come back. I don't want to get a bad grade. You know what I mean? You still want more? I keep going. Actually. Don't stop. right, so I'll get into some nitty gritty stuff. Let's see. What can I go with? So you used to smoke weed back in the day, right? Yeah. So we'll take it there. You know what I mean? And I realized, like, you know, my priorities get a little bit jaded every time that I smoke. You know what I'm saying? And the paranoia starts kicking in. You start thinking about things that you've never thought, like, before. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get home, you're like, oh, shit, did I clock out of work today? You know what I mean? Stuff like that happens, you know what I mean, every time. You know what I mean? And then it got to the point where, like, I just had to stop because I'd be at my home, just smoking, you know what I'm saying, just to myself, like, man, I really should have paid that light bill today. It's dark as shit in my crib right now. That's what happened. I'm gonna leave y'all with that right now, and then until some more people get in here, and then if you want me to hit it later on, then I'll go. We good? Cool. Thank you.
This piece I'm about to recite to you right here is it's very short and sweet. It's not as long. When I wrote this poem, it was more of a mindset of thinking like today's world and how I view it. And it's titled A Lonely Tear. You ready for it? There we go. I cried the tear that was never washed away. I cry for the troops that we lost today. I cry for women that's always being degraded. I cry for that woman that was raped. I cry for that woman that stands on the corner. I cry for her kids who's dying of hunger. I cry for that child that never saw his reflection. I cry because that child died of abortion. I cry for that young man that has no direction. I cry for his father who was his protection. I cry for the ghettos all across America. I cry because being black is hard in America. I cry for that racist white man that never saw the love in a black child. I cry for that racist black man that never saw the joy in a white smile. I cry for the father that never saw his son speak. I cry for his son because his son was me. Thank you.
So this is my first time doing anything like this, so the nerves are here right now. This piece is entitled Thoughts from the Edge of the Bed. All right. People around the world, join hands. Let's start a love train, a love train. People around the world, join hands. Let's start a love train, a love train. Love songs keeping me grounded. Without them, I'd probably hurt everyone around me. You ain't talking money, man, get from around me. And that's exactly what I was afraid of. Spread love is my everyday goal, but it's hard to reach when you're the type who can't trust a soul. I'm warm and bright to the world, but my inner is so cold. It's kinda dumb to search for truth when it's never been told. That's just how I feel. I just keep it real. Some say I'm overly opinionated. I just speak what you think. You too coward to say it. Stubborn personality. I'm always up for debating. I don't believe in fate. This life is what you make it, and I'm tired of seeing mama stress about things. Every queen need her a king. Lord, you see the struggle. But this prince right here gonna get it off the muscle. I'ma hustle 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I'm working double. I got family to feed. Lusting after success, trying to provide for my seed. Fill my heart with love, take away hate and the greed. Third eye open, searching for ultimate peace. Yeah, Hakuna Matata, let your mind roam. You still thinking in the box, what's a time zone? God never created clocks. Government plots trying to keep us entertained. I don't know why, they're just dumbing down our brain. It's a shame, call it conspiracy if you want to. You spend billions on weapons and people don't have food, man, forget you. We're not looking for handouts, Trying to keep us down just 'cause we stand out, it's outstanding. The things I think about every night when I'm vamping, like, does this world have an end? I probably should have stayed ignorant. I'm a spirit kicked out of heaven just trying to regain citizenship. When I was a kid, I knew I was different. I really did. In first grade, my teacher said I had ESP. I told my friends I was psychic, but of course they didn't believe me. But at the end of the day, just do you. Keep it honest, positive vibes, and stay true. I gotta tighten up, I got a couple loose screws. Blame it on the weed and the late night booze. Forgive me. You guys sleeping on me. You guys sleeping on me. You keep on pressing the snooze. It's time to wake you up to this rhythm and blues. This that thug life. Tupac know what I mean. All this media coverage, so nonsense to me. But who am I? I ain't Who cares what I think? Go ahead, keep doing you. Let's see what that life bring. Rolling up the splizzy, listening to Lauryn Hill sing. I'm about to marry the game. I just bought her ring, headed for the stars. Yeah, I'm headed for stardom. I'm going up, I hope I don't fall like autumn. That's what's up, chasing your dreams. Allowing God to guide you no matter how weird it seems. Thank you.
Like I said, I haven't really rehearsed this, but this is called Stephanie. Stephanie, I need you by my side, by my side. Ever since I saw you, I always knew you'd be my girl, you'd be my girl. 14 years later and you're still there, standing next to me, standing next to me. Baby, let me hold your hand, for the night is young, and you look so beautiful. Ooh, baby, let me hold your hand, for the night is young, and you look so beautiful. You're my everything, my beautiful girl. You're the girl I love. Tonight is all night, and forever you will be my girl. Ooh, baby, dance with me, for the night is young, and you look so beautiful. Ooh, baby, dance with me, for the night is young, and you look so beautiful. Ooh, baby, dance with me, for the night is young, and you look so beautiful. You're my everything, my beautiful girl. You're the girl I love. You're my everything, my beautiful girl. You're the girl I love. Love, 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 love.
one involves Will Smith, who I've had the good pleasure and good fortune of working with a few times over the years, starting on Bad Boys 2. But then back in 2011, he was hiring me. He hired me a few times to cover him personally, like be his personal photographer on a movie set. So he was making Men in Black 3 at the time, and he hired me to come to New York. I wasn't the photographer on the movie, but I was there personally photographing him. And there's a quote that had been attributed to Will that I'd heard that I really liked, where he says 99% is the same as nothing. So in other words, just either do 100% or don't even bother with whatever you're doing. So this one day that they were filming out at Coney Island in New York, and there's a scene where he's walking up a narrow way in Coney Island, and he stops at a certain point, and the movie camera's filming him. But I saw that if I got down at a low angle, that he'd be perfectly centered in the Wonder Wheel. I thought that'd be a really cool photograph. So at the time, 2011, I still had mobility. I was still using a cane. I wasn't in this thing yet, or I was just, starting with this. And so I got down on the ground. I lied down on my back, and I slid my legs under this light stand so I could be just in the right position so that when he stopped, I'd get that photo. So they did it about 4 or 5 times, and I got the photo. And then they yelled cut, and they ended the scene. And he looked down and he saw me on the ground. He goes, "Hey, man, what are you doing there?" And he was helping me up. And I said, "Well, like you say, 99% is the same as nothing. Just do it 100% or don't bother." So, and I go, "Listen, I always give you credit when I use that quote." And he goes, No. He goes, "The first time you give me credit. The second time you say it, you say, well, somebody I know says 99% is the same as nothing. Then the third time you say, well, like I always say, 99% is the same as nothing." So that's a true story. Let me see if I can give you another good Will Smith story. Will had requested and hired me to photograph the poster for the movie Pursuit of Happiness, which was a film he was doing back in 2005. So he was filming that up in the Bay Area in Oakland, California, and they had this big warehouse where they were filming. And it was a huge space, so the movie filming was going on one side, and I had a whole photo setup that I had done in the very far corner of the warehouse. And the way it was going was that whenever the actors would have some free time, they'd come over to my photo setup, and we'd do some photos for the poster. So at one point, they have, movie sets have a room, like they call it the craft services room. So it's a room where there's drinks and refreshments or whatever. And I went I was waiting, they were filming, and I was just kind of waiting. And I went into the craft services room, and I saw this one girl, this makeup girl, was kind of looking down in horror at something on the floor. And I went over there, and it was one of these mouse traps that was like sticky, so the mouse was on it, and it's like all stuck to it and struggling. I'm kind of an animal lover, so I felt really bad for this mouse. So I took the thing outside, and I was like working the mouse off the thing. First I got its foot, its right foot, its back foot, and as I would get it off the sticky thing, I'd put something under it so it wouldn't get restuck. Put a piece of paper. So finally the last thing was the mouse's head. So I said, okay, little fella, I'm going to get you off of here now. So I went to pull the head, and it just bit me, and it was a deep, mouse bite. And I hadn't remember when I had a rabies vaccine or whatever. So, I put the thing down. I kind of tossed it down, and then they had to take me to the local hospital. So they took me to the hospital. Meanwhile, I went to the hospital, to the ER, and I kept using Will Smith. Well, I'm Will Smith's photographer, whatever, to try and speed up the process of getting me through. Because when you go to the ER, you can be there for hours. So I go in, and I had someone with me, one of my people, and then there was a production assistant from the movie who was on the walkie-talkies, on the phone back with the set. And there were like big marketing executives from Sony there. They were all like uptight about what's happening. And finally, we'd had everything set up. I had all the lighting set up. We use stand-ins to get the lighting right. So when the actors come in, they can just go and you don't have to tweak the lighting at all. So I'm back on the set, and the executives from Sony, the marketing, was like a vice president of marketing, saying, we'll just have your assistant shoot it, And so I was going to do that. I had one of my assistants on the phone. I was talking to him, telling him what to do, and you could hear like Will in the background going, no, I want to wait for Robert. So I thought that was kind of cool. So we get back to the set. Finally, I get the rabies thing or the tetanus shot, and go back to the set, and then like Will Smith's makeup guy, our hair guy, is a guy named Pierce. And Will sees me, he's kind of laughing, and he goes, "Hey, how you doing, Dr. Doolittle?" Like that. And so that was it. So like ever since then, like 10 years ago, I kind of see him. It's still a running joke, like how's Mickey Mouse doing or whatever like that. So anyway. The point being that a lot of times, true stories trump fiction any day. So that's why I love these true stories that I do here. In the spirit of better late than never, we have some more artists have arrived, and we're very lucky to have them here. I love the story because it's all about this whole thing's about real life, and how I call it the whole thing with this exhibit Kindsight that I've done. And I talked about the personal stories of people that I've met. I call it the power of hello. Sometimes just saying hello to someone can open up a door of connection. And so that's what happened with William and myself when a couple of years ago. I was down in Wynwood doing some photographs. How everyone goes down and photographs the Wynwood walls and all that stuff. So I was down there actually doing some wedding photos of a couple that got married, and they were in their bridal. And I met William, and we kind of instantly clicked, and on a real soul and personal level. So I've been very fortunate to know him, and he recently graduated from FIU, as a matter of fact. So please give it up for that. And by the way, I know it's a small circle here, but if anyone knows of a nice one-bedroom apartment, please keep in mind that William's looking for a one-bedroom apartment. So anyway, on that note, I'm very proud to introduce my nephew, and I'm his uncle, William Faunch.
What's up, everybody? Good. This piece that I have is entitled Orphans, and I think it's self-explanatory as I explain why. We know what love is because we have received who love is, but what is the opposite? The opposite of love is not hate, because hatred requires strong concentration on a subject we focus to make complacent in our existence, so it can't be hate. No, the opposite of love is neglect, where the person on the receiving end is left with nothing but a reflection of themselves scattered in pieces from the causes of rejection. The protection of comfort and the light of confidence have long departed. Such cases can be equated with almost any type of relations, but as far as man with God, one question always asked is, if God is so loving, why are there still so many people suffering? The answer is because humanity chooses to separate themselves from a loving God. In their disobedience, the shelter's removed. In addition to consequences, our wisdom is confused. Instruction refused, tickling our flesh, enemies amused, feeding the satisfaction of a being who has hated us. And we become orphans to the very Father that created us. And then, instead of indulging in the goodness of the promises that He's kept for us, we then plagiarize His attributes and apply them to behaviors that weren't meant for us. And that's not our portion. Submission to Him, we then nourish His garden, acting as His hands and feet. Rich metabolism is harbored. In our submission to Him, we create the energy needed to feed then new fruit for the orphans, for their temples, so that they could be seated by the grace of a God who, when answered, covers His people in grace with no trace of a lie. So in the end, if you don't take care now, then He'll be saying goodbye. And what a day it would be for your own Father to say, "Turn from me, I never knew you." That's it. So this guy right here, he's a very dear brother of mine, who I've really grown to know as dear family. It started out as an event at FIU where we met one another, shared, of course, each other's talents. But then it became such a, I would say, a fruitful relationship, just to put it all in summation. And we've been growing together ever since. I'll let him do the rest. His name is Transparent.
What a heartfelt introduction, I feel it all on here. All right, so, my name is Transparent, and I'll be sharing a piece that's originally written by a young lady named Camden Webb. It's titled, We Are Generation S. We are a generation of ex-liars, ex-racist, ex-atheist, once lost, now found, pressing with fervor toward the New Jerusalem. We are a generation of righteous heirs, once scared but who now bears the cross on our backs with fearless confidence in our Lord, Savior, Jesus Christ. No longer holding him captive or only wearing him on our sleeves, but honoring him externally. We are a generation of ex-conformists, ex-divas, ex-slaves, ex-ing out our selfish indignations, our propensities toward fulfilling the lust of this never-satiated flesh. We are a fresh fragrance to his nostrils, an image of him no longer denying his power. We are a generation of ex-homosexuals, ex-fornicators, ex-masturbators, ex-master haters, ex-agitators of provoking the wrath of God, stirring up his jealousy, exasperating his grace, making a mockery of his fury. Jesus died for humanity. X marks the spot where his blood flowed for me, and an X and 3 dots followed by everything that's ungodly, crippling the hands of the enemy. X represents the urgency of a dying nation. For God said, if my people who are called by my name shall turn from their wicked ways, humble themselves, seek my face and pray, I will hear from heaven, come down and heal their land. We are a new soil, so we promise to erase, replace with an X all that is unpleasing to him. For he is Lord, God, Jehovah the King, our ruler, our master. Good tidings we bring, Jesus lives. And consequently we are redeemed, walking testimonies, undeserving examples of his mercy, renamed for his glory. We are Generation S, and this is the movement.
This next young artist, Jeffrey Perry, and what is your stage name? Ocean Drive Jeff, who I met actually here. Is it okay if I tell the story? I gave my first master class here last fall, and there was a young man who was working as a security guard here, and he came up to me after my presentation, and we spoke, and it was just one of those moments when you just connect with somebody on a life level. And so we stayed in touch, and I learned that he is a spoken word artist and a poet and a thinker and just a really concerned individual. And so then he took me out. We went for a nice breakfast of chicken and waffles in the hood, and William came with us, and it was a great experience. And we continued our connection, our dialogue, and so now. Finally, at the first open mic a month or so ago, I got to see him, and I was just basically blown away because, very soft-spoken individual. Just again goes to show, what lies beneath the surface of people. So it's a great honor and pleasure to present Ocean Drive Jeff. Oh, I got to tell you one more story too. I'm gonna just tell a quick story about New York. A couple of weeks ago, it was like 3 weeks ago, last month, I had to go up to New York for a meeting. I'm on the board of this organization that has to do with my disease while I'm in this wheelchair, and I was telling Jeff that I'm also friendly up there with Malak Shabazz, who is the youngest daughter of Malcolm X and Dr. Betty Shabazz. And so Jeff got himself a plane ticket and made it up there, and we ended up spending a day together with Malak Shabazz, and we went up to the Shabazz Center, which is formerly the Audubon Ballroom, and we were in the room where Malcolm X was actually assassinated. So it was a pretty great experience. So anyway, here you go, Ocean Drive Jeff.
They gave their things on their poems about God and stuff like that. I got a friend who always says He says he feels like the Bible, it never really ended. Like even in today's time, it still continues. Like we're all somewhat, how would I say, those characters. So I feel like this poem is perfect. It's like a bite off of Kanye. I don't know if you guys heard Jesus Walks. Feel like Jesus walks, but the devil running faster. In this black and cold world where black man had a master. HIV, southern poverty, stricken bastards. Whips and switch the gavels, and these judges are our masters. And cops barrel seen to find our kids before our rights did. Difference when you rolling with that white kid. Stop going to church, I'm too busy partying. Tides raining in strip clubs, we coughing kids. What a coffee. Tides raining in strip clubs, we coffee kids. What an offering, we rolling with them coughing kids. Cooler than the fam, Marley lit up like an ornament. People adios, did a bit, high snitch. His mama like I taught him books, I never taught him this. Playing with this mic, I'm in the light and in the mix. But that could be a curse as much as it could be a gift. I started out as honest, now my plot is getting rich. Devil in the models, powder on her fingertips. Jesus walks, yes indeed I do. The devil watching everything I do. Jesus walks with me. I got disciples, but I'm writing my own Bible, and blessing my rivals is God, it's ocean. Thank you. Is it you or is it me? Wanna love, but that pain cut deep. Always gone, but you where I wanna be. I can't change, this is who I wanna be. You wanna leave, be free, but I keep you. I ain't there when you need, but I need you. Stay on the phone, where you at, I'm trying to see you. I know you tired, baby, please don't leave me. Stuff ain't been the same, I know we barely kick it. We get into it, people say I'm acting different. I'm trying everything I can to make you stay. Feel like we going further every time I chase. I hate I can't control this stuff. Feel like you can run a game on some controller stuff. But other times I feel like it's me. Maybe you just growing different from the times that I cheat. If it's truth, I apologize. Feel like karma visit every time I wipe your eyes. Cause nowadays you wiping mine. Never thought I'd see the day them feelings switch sides. But anybody could have saw this. A heart could only beat so long before it called it quits. So now I'm on some Carter stuff. Lil' love, daughter, tattooed tears. Is it you or is it me? Wanna love, but that pain cut deep. Always gone, but you where I wanna be. I can't change, this is who I wanna be. You wanna leave, be free, but I keep you. I ain't there when you need, but I need you. Stay on the phone, where you at, I'm trying to see you. I know you tired, baby, please don't leave me. When love real, it's real hard. The same reason why we bond is why we grow apart. You know me and you pull my card. Every time I try to act like you ain't got my heart. I hate it when you do that. It's frustrating cause you never used to do that. Got me thinking who she thinks she is. Then it hit me, you just doing what I did for years. And I never meant to hurt you, but now it makes sense why your mind ran in circles. I just hope you find it in you to see my pain and give to me what I ain't give to you. A sense of worth. We need it when we mentally hurt. Your mind gone cause for a second you was putting me first. Thoughts affected by what's under your shirt. Guard yours if you ain't hurt. Now let me take him to church. Now is it you or is it me? Wanna love but that pain cut deep. Always gone but you where I wanna be. I can't change, this is who I wanna be. You wanna leave, be free, but I keep you. I ain't there when you need, but I need you. Stay on the phone, where you at, I'm trying to see you. I know you tired, baby, please don't leave me. Thank you. That's all I got.
All again, very much for coming. Really amazing. My heart is so full of gratitude to all of you. So we'll keep it going. Thank you.